Try this again. Yay! We did it!
Yay!
Technology.
You're still a little bit blurry, but
Oh
a
no,
little bit.
that's my actual face.
I
Sorry.
can't see your lovely face. So thank you.
Hey, so
Oh,
let
how
me do.
are you,
I
man?
am excellent. How are you doing?
Yeah,
Let,
I'm good. I'm really good. Got a little
good. Let me.
vitamin C.
That's perfect. It's cold and rainy here. It's kind of London weather here, so
Oh no. It's
yeah.
lovely. It's lovely here. It's a bit cold, but it's still blue skies.
Yeah, we've had great weather. So let me do some proper introductions. We're getting a lot of people joining. Welcome, everybody, to RDU on Stage. My name is Mike McGee. I'm a local director and actor in Raleigh, North Carolina. And Lauren, who runs RDU on Stage, who's been doing an amazing job pumping out content. So make sure you follow RDU on Stage if you're not already. She's been interviewing Broadway stars and local theater people, and she asked me if I wanted to do a couple interviews. And so since I go to London quite frequently for work, we decided to bring on some West End stars. So let me introduce our very first West End star, also now a star of YouTube. You saw her most recently. You saw her recently as the OG alternate in Six the Musical, and then now starring in another smash hit, and Juliet. Welcome, Grace Mouat.
Yay! Doom, 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 doom.
And
Hello. Oh, Paul's here.
I did watch your YouTube tutorial on slang with your parents, which is why I threw the OG in there.
Oh yeah, that did you learn it from me? Yeah.
I knew OG. I was a little more on your mom's scale of knowing slang
Oh
than your
yeah, I
dad.
feel like you would be actually.
Your dad's a little behind, I think, on the slang.
Oh, he was, wasn't he? He is
And then I also,
a
your very
bundle
helpful
of love.
tutorial on properly pronouncing your last name was helpful too. So, Mouat.
Oh yeah, in the intro.
If you don't mind,
Mouat.
if you don't
I've
mind, I'm
actually
going to
got
start.
another one coming out straight after this, which
I
is
cannot
exciting.
wait. It's a baking one, right?
It is a baking one.
Totally can't wait.
Can't wait.
So, if you don't mind, I'm going to start with a couple pandemic questions, and then we'll move on to fun stuff, if you're okay with that. So, first of all, how are you doing?
Get them out of the way.
Get them out of the way. How are you doing all this? How are you doing in all this? Are you healthy? Are you safe? Is your family healthy? Where are you locking down? Tell us a little bit about how Grace's lockdown's going.
Okay, so we're all great. I'm with my parents. My brother's in London, but he's with some friends. I actually was ill before the show closed.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to say like see you soon to my castmates. My laptop's like in my flat, like all my makeup is in the Shaftesbury. So it's very weird because I was like, oh, I feel like I haven't said not goodbye, but like see you soon. I didn't get to give anyone a hug and a bye. But yeah, I was really ill. It was the Thursday before the Tuesday that it closed, and I did a matinee as Juliet, and I wasn't myself, and I just had to. Me and Dills were both pretty ill, and we just had to bite the bullet, and we had to go home. And then there was already like a collection of us who were ill. We all like none of us still know what happened, like what it was. Because I had like very minor symptoms, but I didn't have a cough, I didn't have temperature, so I don't know what it was. But it was like nothing I've ever had before. It was awful. Anyway, so yeah, I've just from like a few days after all the shows were closed, I was feeling better, and then I've just been trying to keep busy in my house. Really, I've done like taken up loads of new hobbies, started my YouTube channel, which has taken up lots of time.
Yeah.
I actually started knitting. I've got arts and crafts like coming out of my ears.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah, but sometimes I sometimes just like have days where I just want to watch TV, and like if I try and have as much of a routine in the morning as I can. Some days it doesn't go very well, but if I have like a bit of a routine in the morning, then I don't feel as bad about doing what I want with the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm not I'm very like aware that every day is so different.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking each day as it comes and waiting, really, waiting positively and patiently.
Yeah, I think that's all we can all do, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
so just talk about that for a second. And Juliet got hit pretty bad in general. You had to make some modifications to some shows, right? Towards the end, right before the close down. Didn't they do a
Yeah, they
concert
did.
version?
Yeah, they did a concert version, which I was so annoyed that to miss because it was received so well, apparently. And
Yeah.
also, Danielle, who's one of my besties, made her Juliet debut, and I was ill. But I guess that's the whole point of being like first and second cover. Like, it's a bit annoying when the second cover is one of your best mates because the chances of you being there when she goes on is very
Right.
slim. So I was like, no. But she absolutely smashed out of the park, as I knew she would. But I just wanted to be there. But yeah, they did, I think, 3 concert versions.
Oh, wow.
But everyone enjoyed it. They said it went
Yeah.
really well, and apparently the audiences were nuts for them as well. So yeah.
Cool. Well, I've got a lot of Juliet questions. I'm going to shorten it to Juliet for the rest of the day, so I don't keep saying Juliet. But we'll get to those.
Yeah.
We'll get to those in a second. Couple more pandemic questions. Have you watched Tiger King?
No.
What?
I know,
Oh my
because
gosh.
I'm watching Prison Break at the moment.
Oh, okay.
I know
Well, in the
it's quite
future.
old school, but I'm so invested. Pardon? Yes, next time. I will. I'm thinking of watching it tonight. Quarantine snack. I rediscovered apple and peanut butter
Oh,
today.
that's a good one.
Like last week it was Thai chili sensations.
Oh.
But now I can't keep eating them because I'm pretty sure they have like something in them that is addictive. They're literally the best crisps on earth. But yeah, I've been drinking far too much tea for my own good, and yeah, I don't really know. I'm making some smoothies. But yeah, there aren't actually that many unhealthy snacks in the house right now, so which is very frustrating because I'm like, I need ice cream.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some fun stuff.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit of a delay, so I'm trying to like pause so you can hear the question. So we have a lot of new American fans who may not know you so well. Tell us a little bit. When did you first realize you wanted to go into musical theater?
I never really had that like click moment. I don't think like I was a singing kid from like the age of 6 when we had like a little like caravan mobile home in Bournemouth, and I used to do the talent shows there all the time. And then when I was like, I think it was like 13, I went to GSA Saturday School. I'd been to like a local Amdram, and there was a girl there who went to Saturday School, and she was telling me all about it, and I was like, I want to go there. And I loved it. And you get taught there by like loads of the teachers that teach on the degree course. So like they were really it was good training for like growing up, you know. And then I went on and did the degree, and I think I was probably like early teens when I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And yeah, I think I reckon like 12, 13.
Okay. What was the first show you saw?
Yeah.
The first professional show you saw?
I actually got asked this the other day. It was Annie on tour. Yeah, when I was younger. But before that, it was probably like a panto or something.
Okay.
And then I went to like Lion King, Hairspray, Wicked, all like the classics, you know.
Yeah. So you graduated from GSA. What was your first professional show?
6.
It was okay.
My first. Yeah, I went straight in 6 from GSA, and I made my debut the day before I graduated.
Oh my gosh,
it was
amazing!
All very crazy. But yeah, I did do a pantomime before that on my gap year. and I'd done like some like semi-professional like NYMC stuff before as well, but that was my first official professional debut. Yeah,
that's a pretty amazing one to start with.
I've got my bottle.
Oh, there you go. So what was tell us a little bit about the audition process for Six. What was that like?
So much fun. I actually took the job based on the audition process because there was nothing else I knew about the show apart from that the audition was so much fun, so the job's obviously going to be fun. Because basically the show was so new when we were auditioning and actually quite like secretive, so like all we knew were like the stuff that we'd been sent and the opening scene. So we kind of did the auditions in groups, and then we did like, so we'd like workshop the opening scene as a group, and they'd like give us notes and stuff, and then we'd perform our songs all in front of each other, and like or like everyone else would be your audience. And then we did like 2 routines, and obviously because the choreography didn't exist back then, we just did like a Beyonce song and a Rihanna song. And then there was just like I think there was about 4 or 5 rounds of kind of like that, but different, like seeing people do different stuff, coming back and doing it again, coming back and doing it again, and then yeah. So it was just so much fun. Like I just knew that it was going to be like such a laugh to do because everyone was just so on board and chill and just wanted to see like fun, like bands people.
What did you audition for all 6 queens, or did they just have you kind of slotted in for a certain couple?
No, so this is the funny thing. So me and Maya, we were in our auditions together, and we've been like bezies from drama school, so it was really nice like being with her through it. And basically in the they only saw me sing Anne Boleyn and Anna of Cleves, and then I did my own song, which was a Stushy song, and showed like loads of range, so like they knew that I was capable of singing the show. But then they saw Maya sing like loads of the queens, and so we were like a bit confused. And then I think they pretty much told Maya she'd got it in the audition, and I was like, oh my god. And then I had a friend who had actually been offered, a friend who'd done it before, Renee, and she had been like chatting with Toby and Lucy and was like, I don't know. She was like, something's gonna happen. And then they basically told Maya that she was kind of in it, and I was like, okay. Anyway, so the next day we were seeing Renee at this concert, and I had just signed with an agent, and I got a call saying you've been offered swing, and I was like, what? And I was like, oh my god, like I thought Maya was going to be swing. Anyway, so I went to this concert and saw Maya and Renee, and I was like, oh my god, I've just been offered swing. And Maya was like, what the hell? I thought they were going to offer me swing because they saw me sing so many people. And then Renee was like, I knew it. And then the next day, Maya got Catherine Parr. So yeah, that was such a long-winded story.
Well, no, that's okay. And you were the only swing for almost a year, 6 months. How long were you the only swing for?
6 months.
6 months. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the original rehearsal process like for you? Did you get much time on stage? Were you expected to learn off stage? How did that go for you as a swing?
So basically, I'd never been a swing before and didn't really have much of a clue. I was asking, like, I think the thing about Six when you're swinging it on your own is like it's like nothing else. So I'd kind of been speaking to my agent and speaking to all my friends in the industry who had been a swing, being like, okay, how'd you do it? And because the majority of those people had been a swing where it's like the swings cover the ensemble, do you know what I mean? And then they cover leads. So they were kind of like, oh, the best trick is learn one track and then the rest will kind of come into place.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And I was like, I'm going to focus on 2. And then I kind of was like, okay, I don't really have time to do this. And I spoke to my choreographer, who was just the most supportive, amazing person during the whole thing. She was basically just like, Grace, you have 3 weeks. You can't learn. You're going to have to learn them all at the same time. And I was like, okay. So I basically just, every single night I would go home and just, the number we'd learn that day. So say we learned all you want to do that day, I'd go home and just do it as every single part. And then kind of do that with like every day coming back from rehearsals. And then Carrie Ann, our choreographer, would kind of be like, once we do a number, she'd be like, okay, Grace, tag in as Catherine Varrigan, and then the next song, tag in as Berlin. And so I just had a bit of a feel of what it was like to be in the group, because like, and at the end of the day, I completely understood like that they were creating this brand new show that they knew it was going to be a hit. So I think so they had to just make sure it was perfect.
Yeah.
And I like, obviously now all the alternates have like tech rehearsals for the queens and like every, like a rehearsal for each part, but it was kind of just like I just had to go in and just hope for the best. But I was really grateful that they like trusted me to do that, to like, because they put me on and I hadn't really had a dress rehearsal or a tech rehearsal or anything.
Oh my gosh.
But they kind of said, we're going to give you a 2-show day so you can do the matinee and see how you feel, because you're going to be like a rabbit in headlights, and then the evening show it will like sink in a bit. And it was actually fine because I knew what I was doing, and I think it was okay. But yeah, I think that the hardest thing about it all was because the show was brand new. Well, that production of the show was brand new. It was just like every single change that would happen. So every change to the script, every change to the choreography, that would change 6 times for me for each change. Do you know what I mean? Because I was like, oh, yeah, okay, absolutely. So this person is saying that line now instead of that person. So that means that I have to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And then, yeah, this person's traffic goes this way now. So that means that this person has to wait back for that. And it was just like, ah!
No, I always used to say, especially with you all, when you got to have more swings and stuff, you all having your own costumes must have made it so hard that you couldn't use the costume as a marker for what that person was playing that day. So it just makes it even that much more confusing.
So confusing.
So someone asked what a swing is. Do you want to answer that question?
So a swing is basically just someone off stage. Well, it can be off stage or on stage who covers like a lot of tracks. Usually in like big musicals, the swings will cover the ensemble and like maybe like cover one of the leads. And then when an ensemble member goes on for their cover, as in one of the principals, the swing will then fill their track. So when I go on as Juliet, Sophie Usher plays Judith. Yep.
So what was it like being the only swing for 6 months? That must have been nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it was fine. And I was on so much more when I was an alternate in town than on tour.
Okay.
Just because it was a new show and like and I think I was anyway. I can't actually remember, to be honest. It was all a bit of a blur.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But it was fine. It was quite hard in terms of like I learned quite a lot mentally because I was on my own a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was good that I was dance captain because I got to be like with the girls a lot and like working with the girls. But it's hard like when all the girls were on stage, like making those relationships when you're always in the audience or watching off stage or in the lighting box or in the wings or in the dressing room or whatever. But Wolfie was there to keep me company a lot because Wolfie came to a lot of the venues with us, so I would sit with Wolfie during the shows and we'd have a nap or we'd play games. And then other times I'd either like FaceTime a friend or like watch a Netflix series or I'd be noting the show. But yeah, it was, in terms of doing the show, it was just hard in terms of like remembering how it went. And because I had such a short time to learn it, I kind of learnt the script as like a monologue. So sometimes I would just take people's lines.
It happens.
I'd be like, oh, sorry.
And you went on for 5 of
because
the
I'd
6?
learned, because some of the lines would say split between the queens, and then I'd just say someone else's line. Bit of fun.
So before you left, you went on for 5 of the 6?
Before I left.
You went on for 5 of the 6 queens?
Oh, when we were in London?
Just in general, throughout your whole run. Did you ever play all 6?
Oh, yeah. I played all 6
didn't know that.
by the end, by the end of the Fringe. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because we were basically, we were going to, we did Norwich, Cambridge, Edinburgh Fringe, and then London.
Okay.
And then, so in Cambridge, I went on as Aragon, and then they said, okay, so we want you to like do it before the Fringe, because then at the Fringe we want you to like debut as every queen before we go to the West End, just so I've done it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like it would be like Berlin 2 days, Cleves 2 days, Howard 2 days, and I would like rotate like that. And then so yeah, by the time London came, I'd done, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, well, they wanted me to debut as many as possible. So yeah, it was great.
Well, a lot of people are asking, what's your favorite queen to play?
Catherine of Aragon. I get asked this about 10 times a day. Catherine of Aragon.
A couple more 6 questions, and then we'll move on to Juliet. When did you realize 6 was going to? When did you realize 6 was going to be huge, and what it turned into?
At the Edinburgh Fringe.
Oh, really?
That was
that
kind
early?
of when we watched it. Like, oh yeah, that was kind of when we watched it like blowing up around us. Yeah, definitely at the Fringe we were like, whoa, and then people were really excited for it to come to London, kind of where the hype was built.
All right, think about this answer really carefully. The question is, who was your favorite front of house person at the Arts?
Paul Hassan. Yeah, easy peasy, Paul.
Yeah, just wanted to.
That's another thing I used to do when we were in London. I used to just, when the show was on, I would just sit with the front of the house team, and we'd have live chats.
So,
great.
Why do you think 6 resonates so much with young women?
I think it's really clever how the music and the language of the dialogue is really relatable to how young people speak nowadays, and then through that they have such a important message about female empowerment and all that jazz, which obviously very trendy nowadays, and so yeah, I think they kind of attract younger audiences with their like the music and the dialogue and the costumes and the makeup and the hair, and then like drop in this like big old life hack of not comparing yourself to others.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's move on. When did you start auditioning for Juliet?
Wow, I started auditioning for Juliet the day after the Edinburgh Fringe.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I started auditioning the day after the Edinburgh Fringe, June, July, August. So August, September. So September 2018. And then I found out I got it just before we went to Manchester. So around like November. And then I told the girls in Manchester. So this was around Christmas time. And it was just the hardest thing I've ever done. I was like, I'm leaving. But they were very kind and they let me leave early. So I literally, that was like nearly a year from like the first audition to leaving. So it was a very long time coming. But yeah, because Juliet is such a, because of the people involved, so like Max Martin, it was very like under wraps, and they were very like, they auditioned for a very long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was so lucky.
So did you rehearse it all for Juliet while you were still at 6, or did you leave 6 first?
Yes, I doubled up for 5 weeks. And
oh my gosh.
And I was on every night, and it was the hardest 5 weeks of my life.
I can imagine.
I could honestly put my hands up and say it was the hardest 5 weeks of my life, just mentally and physically draining. So I also doubled up when we did the workshop as well. So I did a Juliet workshop in February and March of 2019. But yeah, it was really hard. I don't think there's. I always say, like, I actually think I made more mistakes in my last 5 weeks of 6 than I did in my first, just because I was so knackered.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, like, who I am, and what show I'm in. But yeah, I think because Juliet rehearsals were Monday to Saturday, and then 6 was Tuesday to Sunday, so I didn't have a day off for 5 weeks. But it was I knew that it was all going to pay off and it was worth it. So yeah.
You still hear me, Grace?
Yes, and it was summer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you're back.
So sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. So full disclosure.
Yeah, they were both really dancey.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a huge delay right now, so I'll slow down.
Oh, okay.
So first time I saw Anne Juliet, I wasn't that into seeing it before. I was like, I don't know, jukebox musical, blah, blah. And then I got there and I saw the set and I'm like, okay, I'm a techie at heart, so I really love the set. And then you all started coming and doing your pre-show, and I was like, oh, those costumes are pretty cool. I love Paloma Young's work, great comment. And
amazing. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so the show is a jukebox musical, but I think it's definitely on the side of a musical with existing music, as opposed to I think jukebox has this kind of like stigma around it.
Yeah.
But I think ours is just very different. I think so. It's basically and it's Romeo and Juliet, and what would happen if Juliet didn't kill herself over Romeo. So again, like, lots of like female empowerment going on. And so it starts with William Shakespeare and his players, and then his wife comes in and is like, oh, why don't we rewrite the play? Like, Juliet's only had one boyfriend, she's got a whole life to live. And then it just takes you on Juliet's journey of self-discovery and self-love. And it's all pop songs by Max Martin, who's an amazing pop hit writer. He has so many pop hits: Britney, Backstreet Boys, Katy Perry, you name it, he did it. And it's also the book is an amazingly like dry, sarcastic comedy by David West Reed, who wrote Schitt's Creek.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cool. Yeah, he wrote Schitt's Creek. Isn't that so cool?
That's amazing.
And both of them, Max and David, were both very heavily involved, as were our orchestrators, and like the whole American team were very, very much involved. And it was just, it was the most amazing process creating it, with the creative team and the cast. So yeah.
Yeah, when I went to see it, because I knew you, and I was like, oh, let me check it out because Grace is there. So I didn't look into it at all, knew nothing about it. And I had no idea he wrote all that music. Like,
I know. It's
crazy.
Mind-blowing.
But I agree with you. It's not like I had seen, I think why I went in a little bit like negative was I had seen Moulin Rouge not long before that, and I didn't love it. No offense to anybody who's a fan.
But I think that's my favorite thing when I come out the stage door and they're like, I really didn't know what I was going to think about it, but I still loved it. And even the people who still like it's not their cup of tea, they still leave having the best time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I don't know how you can't have it's amazing. You can hear the audience react when they recognize the song. Can you hear that on stage?
Oh yeah, it's so good. Hit Me Baby One More Time is the funniest.
Yeah. Tell everybody a little about the costumes, because I cut you off earlier. Paloma Young's work is so amazing. It's kind of a mix of modern and Renaissance.
Yeah, so it's a little bit like Six in terms of like Six is kind of like girl band versus Tudor. So this one tries to like combine that kind of Shakespearean time. So there's a lot of ruffs and corsets, puffy sleeves, and like collars, and also the material. But then she creates this like unique individual look for each person that still has like a twist of modern day. So every Shakespeare player, they have their own look. So mine is like a top and a skirt. Like, and then that look follows them throughout the whole show, which I think is one of the most, it's so clever and it looks amazing, like because everyone is in this play Romeo and Juliet but is also still keeping true to their Shakespeare player. And then Juliet's costumes are kind of like, she has those elements of that as well, but then she also has like the raw costume, which is like full on pop star. And yeah, again with the corsets and the
Yeah,
patterns. But then
they're
she
amazing.
kind of, yeah, and then with the makeup, it's makeup and hair is a bit more modern as well, so it's very cool.
And the shoes, I love the shoes. How often do you notice people's shoes on stage? And everybody has like the coolest shoes.
Yeah, I've got like greaves, like shin greaves, and they're so cool, like Converse things. It's amazing. It's so amazing.
Somebody asked the question, what's your personal pre-show prep before you go on stage?
Pre-show prep. Don't really have any like rituals, but pre-show prep is kind of come in, do warm up, say hello to everyone, and then we just sit in the dress room, have chats, do the makeup. Sometimes do my makeup and hair before warm up, but usually not. I'm always the one rushing. So do my makeup, then do wig prep. So wig prep is like making your hair as like flat as possible underneath your wig cap. So that's usually with like pin curls. So you literally just like roll it up, stick it in, and then it's all over your head. Wig cap on, mic on, wig on, go up the 5,000 stairs to wigs. Oh, I miss it all. Going up the 5,000 stairs, never thought I'd miss that. Getting your wig on, finish off makeup, get dressed, get zipped up by a dresser, have a sweetie, get on stage.
What your first cover for Juliet the lead, what was it like going on for the first time as that?
Oh, best night of my life, along with my last night of Six. My Juliet debut was honestly bonkers. I've never, and I think the thing is like, I knew it was happening, and I kind of said to my mum, I was like, okay, I only want you, Dad, Renee, and Renee's mum. Like, that's the only people I want. And then obviously the date came out, and all my friends and family booked. So it wasn't only like a lot of people from Six, but a lot of people, a lot of friends and family ended up coming, and it was like, there was just, yeah, loads of love and support. It was amazing.
It's an intense role. You're very, you're not off stage very much, right?
No, you're literally, you carry the show. You're not on stage at all.
What's your favorite song to sing as Juliet?
I think my favorite song to like perform is Raw.
Perform, yeah.
But my favorite song to sing is actually One More Try, with a duet, the brand new duet that Max wrote for the show. And yeah, he put that in the show, and it was amazing. It's such a beautiful song, and the orchestration is so beautiful as well.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. Is that the only original song original to the show?
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah. But Jessie J's released it, which is so
what's
cool.
that?
Jessie J has now released it, which is really
amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
One of the things I like about the show is you mentioned just a little bit earlier about the female empowerment. There's three really strong female characters, at least three, the nurse and Juliet and Anne, which is amazing. And then there's other social storylines in there as well with May and Francois. I don't want to like spoil anything, but there's quite a bit of social commentary without kind of jamming you in the face with it. Well, tell us a little bit about that. What's the reaction to that been?
It's been amazing, really. I think I haven't really seen anything bad about it. I think especially with like the female empowerment stuff, like everyone is so here for it at the moment, so it's
Yeah,
brilliant.
absolutely.
Yeah, and then with the whole Francois May stuff, obviously not giving much away, but I think it's been so amazing to give people representation in that sense in musical theatre. And I also think social commentary, as you're saying, is quite prominent in like the casting. Like everyone in the show was cast on their suitability for the show, as opposed to did they look like they were from a Shakespearean play. Which I think is one of my favorite things about the whole show. So yeah,
it's amazingly diverse cast. Couple more questions, and I want to leave time for your concert and YouTube. So talk about that a little bit. What has there? So the second time I saw the show is when I was sitting up front by you for when you did your pre-show. It was actually, I think, the last show I saw in the West End after the shutdown. The people next to me, but the people next to me by the second act had at least one full bottle of wine, maybe two, and were singing full out the entire show. And they didn't know the show; they just knew the music. Have you had a lot of issues with audience members singing during the show?
Yeah, we haven't actually.
No, just me.
There was, yeah, I think it was just you. What did you come around Christmas time?
No, I saw the first time I saw it was, I don't remember the first time I saw it. The second time was the very end of February.
Really? Yeah. Well, there's always the odd people, but I think the music is so loud that we don't really hear it if it's the odd person. Over Christmas, we got like some like work dues and like, do you know what I mean? Like Christmas parties.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was alcohol consumed. There was a little bit, but there was only, it's always at a particular point. It's usually like at the beginning of Raw, because it's like near the end of the show and like everyone's had a couple by then and everyone knows I got the eye of the sky, so everyone joins in. I think there was only one or two times, I don't even think twice, but in Hit Me Baby One More Time, the most intense moment of the show, people singing along. Honestly, I take my hat off to MTL, but I don't know how she kept a straight face. I would have been laughing, but I was gutted because there was actually meant to be an organised sing-along on my birthday. Yeah, so
that would have been amazing.
I don't think it'll be happening. But maybe we could do one on Zoom or something.
That's a great idea. All right, last Juliet question. What was it like being on the cast recording? Are you on the cast recording?
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, sorry. Are you on the cast recording?
I am.
What was that like?
Yes, I am. Oh my gosh, I was literally living my dreams. I was in a studio with Max Martin. I was shook. I was like, people who have been in a studio with Max Martin, like, are under lists like Britney, Ariana, Katy Perry, Grace Mowat. Do you know what I mean? All of us were just there, like. But yeah, he's so funny. He was so fun to work with. He'd be like, do it again. And Bill and Dom as well were amazing as well. It was just so much fun. We got it. All of us ensemble had like a day to do it each, to do all our bits. So I actually had to leave early. So I think the last few of the songs I'm actually not in.
Oh no!
So I had to go into 6. But yeah, it was a really fun day.
Awesome. Yeah, my friend Jess Barber downloaded it yesterday and was listening to it. She was super excited about it.
Oh, good. It's amazing.
So tell me about your So tell me about your YouTube channel.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's something I've been umming and ahhing for a very long time, like way before this whole Corona thing happened, and people being like, do it, and I just needed that like kick up the bum. And then Corona happened. Oh, I also did a YouTube takeover and like realized how much I enjoyed it. And also like I just realized how it's such a great way to document memories, and like because I watched back on the YouTube takeover that I did on this girl called, sorry, I'm just gonna put my phone on charge, Bryony's channel. And it was just like it was so nice to like look back. It was so much more special than like a picture. know what I mean? And so yeah, I just went for it, and luckily my boyfriend is like an absolute wizard at editing, so he's been editing all my videos. Bless him, it's taken up like most of his days. He's amazing at it. And I think I'm just trying to keep it like a fun place for people to just watch something a bit silly and like have fun instead of anything too serious, and trying to keep them as light-hearted as possible for myself too, because it gives me something fun to do. But yeah, I'm hoping I'm gonna continue with it when I go back to work. I'm sure I will.
And your parents are becoming stars of YouTube now.
I know, they're literally YouTube sensations. I was like, what?
The episode with your dad in the makeup, I was just dying the whole entire episode.
I honestly just we started the timer and he's just started talking. He wasn't stressed or like rushed the time at all. And I was like, okay, this is going to be a hot mess. I can feel it. And it was.
After you did the second part answering the question in the makeup, yeah. I was like, does Grace know her face is crooked right now? Like,
I know. I kept on for the rest of the night because I found it so funny. I was having a photo shoot. Oh no, the post. How do they feel about being a part of it? I think you said.
Sorry.
They love it. No, it's fine. They love helping me out.
And how do we find the channel?
Just type in Grace Mouat. I'm pretty sure that's what they call. I don't actually know. I'm sure it's just Grace Mouat.
And tell us about your concert on Thursday.
Yes, I'm doing one of the amazing Lambert and Jackson Beards Cafe produced live streams, and I'm trying to like learn as many new songs as possible for it. So I'm doing like some like gender bend songs, some Disney songs, of course, and yeah, some songs I've just never sung before because I sometimes find myself like sticking to the same songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited.
What's your how do they find out about it? So
I put the link in my bio on Instagram. But yeah, I'm hoping to make it quite fun and it will end with a party, I'm sure.
Awesome. What's your go-to audition song? Do you have one?
My go-to audition song for like legit musical theatre is probably The Man Behind the Mask from Zorro. And then standard is probably like something like the Spark of Creation, and then pop song I sing Black Heart by Stushy. But I'm definitely going to expand my rep once I get back to auditioning because I've been singing those songs for a long time.
Couple more questions and then I'll let you go because I know you got to post your video. What's your dream role?
Ooh. I have so many. Right now, Eurydice in Hadestown is up there.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I also love Children of Eden. Like, I kind of rediscovered my love for that show today. So, like, Eve would be so amazing to do. Eliza in Hamilton. God, there's loads. Also, to create my own role. Oh, yeah, if there was a Moana musical, I'd do that.
What would you do if you weren't in theater?
What I'm doing now, sit around and knit and read and watch Disney Plus. No, I'm joking. Probably something to do with like maybe like the nutrition world. I find quite interesting. Love working with animals, but I'm allergic to most of them.
Me too.
So, yeah, it's so annoying because I love them. Yeah, maybe like something in like life coaching. I'm not sure. And maybe full-time YouTuber.
You all have to watch Grace's YouTube channel. The 4 videos that are up, they're hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. Okay, couple more questions from the audience, and then I'll let you go. One question was, how many people did you know in And Juliet before you got involved with And Juliet?
Oh, so many. It was the absolute dream. I knew so many people before I started. So let me think. I knew Dills. I've known Dills since we were like 12. We went to GSA Saturday School together, so he's been like my brother, and then we did the degree together. So like, it was so amazing. We lived together. Like, it was so amazing when I found out he got it. Danielle was in the year below me at GSA. She was also my neighbour for a year, and it was the best year ever. We had so much fun. We used to make fajitas all the time. And then who else is there? Nathan is best friends with someone who was in my year, so I've met him. Gosh, who else is there? I met Josh at Little Shop of Horrors. I kind of knew him. I met Ollie at Kinky Boots, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm working with you. Hi, my name's Grace.
He's amazing. I love him.
Oh my gosh, he is amazing. Yeah, a lot of people I kind of just knew through like mutual friends. My best friend had worked with Kerry in Birmingham. Some people I'd met in the audition got on really well, and then yeah, so oh, and then Tim Hendren, I did Spring Awakening with him at the Curve. Aaron's here. Hey, baby.
What was Max Martin like to work with?
Oh my god, he's just like the most chill guy ever. Like, he's so chill, and he knows everyone's name. Like, he just comes, like, we'll be in tech and he'll just be like in the wings, like looking at the set, like because he's just, I think it's just as crazy for him as it is for us. Oh, I miss your face. Because he literally is having this musical with his music that he wrote, created, and I think he's just a bit like, he's just as shook because he's like, this is amazing. And yeah, his whole family are just the loveliest people ever, and got like really involved in helping us create the show. And it was, yeah, he's an absolute legend.
I mean, it's so amazing because I had to Google him afterwards. Like, he's super, super, super wealthy, and you don't even know he has such anonymity.
But
it's like the perfect life.
That is the amazing thing about him. Like, I remember we were in rehearsals, and he was like, oh, I'm just going to go and pop out for a coffee. And I was like, you're about to walk into the streets of London through loads of people who have headphones in, who are most likely probably listening to your music, and no one knows that you wrote it. And that is probably like, that is the power that he has.
Yeah.
Like, how cool is that? Do you know what I mean? I just think there's something that's so cool about that.
It's amazing. Yeah. The first time I saw the show, every song that came on, I'm like, oh, like every single one. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I had the same thing when I went to see Beautiful, and I was like, what? Carole King wrote this as well.
Yeah.
Carole King wrote this, because I didn't know Carole King that much. So yeah, I think it's quite a similar thing with our show. People were just like, how on earth did this man write all these hits? Like, he's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. You think it'll make Broadway?
I hope so. I really hope so. We'll see.
I think so
Don't
too.
know. I think that's the direction it's going. So we've just got to
I would think so.
Yeah.
Especially since he owns all the music. That was one of the struggles with Moulin Rouge, is there's like 80 people they had to negotiate with. Whereas he owns all the music, so.
Yeah, I think there's a few people who he did collab with, but
okay.
I think because they were also happy for us to do it in London, I'm sure they would be more than happy for us to do it on Broadway.
All right,
yeah,
Grace,
let's put it out into the universe.
Absolutely. I've been telling all my friends about it. All right, Grace, I took up almost an hour. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Mike. So nice to see you.
Follow Grace at Grace Mouat on Instagram and Twitter, and definitely look for her YouTube video in about 5 minutes.
5 minutes? And Juliet themed.
Oh, awesome. And then go see her concert on Thursday.
Yay!
Thanks, Grace. Great talking to you. Thank you so much.
And you, my love. Bye.
Bye, everybody.